I am Bikram Hundal, and I did my leadership program in 2017. It's been almost 6 years now since I've done the leadership program at Dow. I am working as a VP operations at Custom Almonds Sequoia company, which is almond hulling shelling operation and almond, pistachio, and walnuts handler based out of Early Mart, California. The best part about my job is the decision making, the constant variability of things, and the constant learning that we have been getting and kind of help us grow ourselves. Not only just limited to newer farming practices and uh, other things that are available out there, but also with technology, like even in our, like for example, in our manufacturing operation, we are including a lot of robotics and technology to make the operations leaner and faster and more safer. My wife's family, they were heavily involved in the almond industry, and I came from a farming background myself. And them were farming almonds for a while, and I got introduced into the farming side of things. I used to work for a tractor company called Massey Ferguson back in the days, and I would come travel in the valley and see what's going on, and all I would see is these permanent orchards being planted. So one day, or my wife's family side, they kind of told me, "Hey, why you like wasting your time in the tractor industry? Why don't you see get into the almond side of things?" I said, "Yeah, sure, that sounds interesting, right? Why not?" So I got my first role in MT trading as a sales guy, which was totally opposite that I've never done. I've never been a salesperson. I've been always involved in the manufacturing side of things and trying to was more mechanically oriented. But I was like, yeah, sure, let me test it out, see how it is. That was the year I decided I will plant my first almond orchard, which I did. And it was selected as one of the best projects too over the years. As I showcase what would it take for an outside of industry to plant an almond orchard, be he's not a generational farmer or whatnot. I included all the variables such as cost, how would you fund it, and what the decisions will you make as an outsider because you're not it's not being handed over to you or passed on. And the huge help that I got while I was in my leadership class, I get to interact with PCAs, I get to interact with some growers and my mentors. They were in there, and I asked them question, why did you pick this? Why did you pick this variety? Why should I pick this variety? And what should be the spacing? How much water should I be using? Can I cut down on some nutrients to cut the costs on? And can I do pruning this year or should I not? Can I get away with it? So those kind of things and decisions that we made and kind of interacted, so which was really helpful for me. I really didn't have to go anywhere else. I would just ask my classmates or some of my mentors, and they were so helpful. And again, they were very excited and interested to see how my experiment is going on. So and every time they would ask me, "Oh, how's your orchard doing?" The one we did. So that was my claim to fame through our leadership class as well. Of course, the bloom time, that's my favorite part. This time of the year, right now, like February, March month, is my favorite time of the year. Perfect weather, and the white flowers, the bloom flowers flowering around, that's my favorite. I would just take random pictures out there, trying to perfect my shots, try to take shots with the bees on the flowers, and I would post on our Instagram and other send pictures and videos to our buyers uh, about that. I think that I would say definitely bloom time is my favorite time of the year. I think I was in grade fifth or grade six, I believe. It was a summer vacation, and my dad. I didn't have that great of grades then. He said, okay, if you don't want to study, you might want to, start being a farmer. Why waste your time in education if you really don't want to study? So he gave me a shovel and had me work with our farm help. And what we used to do it all day, just use a shovel and make those ridges for the water. For watering the crops, and all day what we would do is just make ridges and do it all day with our hand. I would have blisters in my hand. I would not sweat it all out for almost like 3 weeks. And the end of third week or fourth week, I said, this is not what I want my life to be. This is hard work. I don't want to do it. I'd rather study and do something else with my life. And guess what? I opted for agricultural engineering as my undergrad. And I don't know what went to my head. I just did it, and it went to whole full circle. The thing that I really hated when I was growing up, that I don't want to work in the farm and kick dirt and do all that. And guess what? I ended up doing it, and in a way more efficient way. Not really kicking dirt, of course, but I'm using all the machines and tech to do it now. I grew up in India while I was growing, so I was born in India. So I would say my favorite place would be my hometown Jalandhar in Punjab. That was my favorite place. And the second place I would say would be Fresno, of course. And the reason I would say that because I love hiking. That's also one of my hobbies. I'm an outdoor loving person. I go bike and hike. So and Fresno has amazing bike routes around the foothills, the Sierra Nevada foothills, and I love the sand walking trail and all the other hikes that are close by. I have biked on my mountain bike the highest pass in the world. That was 16,000 feet in elevation. So we did a cycling expedition. It was done by the Times of India, one of the Asia's biggest news agency out there. So they picked handful of people all across India at that time. We biked all the way from the foothills of the Himalayas to the top of that highest road in the world, which is at 16,000 something feet, which is 16,000 feet is cruising altitude for a small single propeller plane. So imagine that there was a 7 day expedition we conducted, and it was I would say once of a lifetime experience than one could ever do. I am passionate about welfare, and I support a school back in India. It's a rural school for kids. I support them. I would go out and volunteer over there if I ever get a chance. Well, although it's been a while, like almost 3 years I've been there. So I support them, the kids over there, with the stationery and school supplies, clothing, whatnot. Education is the key that can uplift anybody's lives out there. If any, and if we are able to be part of that, I think how much more fulfilling one's life can be.